Bahagia Tan Sri Nur Syamsiah Muhammad Yunus, the Pro-Chancellor of INCEIF University Tan Sri Muhammad Daud Bakar, the President and CEO of INCEIF University Professor Dr. Muhammad Azmi Omar, our former Chancellor and former Chairman of INCEIF University Tan Sri Dr. Zeki Akhtar Aziz, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the INCEIF University community of students, alumni, faculty members, staff, governing bodies and friends, it's my distinct pleasure to wish a warm welcome to the official launch of our new campus. Our move to this new campus in our 16th year of existence is only made possible by the ongoing support of our partners and especially of our founder and sponsor, Bank Negara Malaysia. And for this, we are eternally grateful, and this will inshallah drive us to do even more to fulfill INCEIF's mandate to develop and promote ilmu, knowledge in the critical area of finance and Islamic finance in particular. This new campus, as we can see, is located in what is fast emerging as Bank Negara Malaysia's knowledge precinct, if I can call it that, for world-class learning, especially in the area of business, finance, and indeed Islamic social finance. Alhamdulillah, since we welcomed our first cohort of students in June 2006, we have evolved into a premier higher education institution. In the early days, we offered a single online professional qualification. Since then, the university has expanded its offerings to include 3 PhD programs, 5 master's programs, 2 professional programs, as well as an industry-focused applied research, consulting, and advisory services. To date, we are grateful to have produced some 2,116 alumni from 83 countries, including 125 PhDs and 237 MSc graduates and counting, inshallah. A number of the alumni are with us today, returning to their alma mater in their new capacities as CEOs, scholars, regulators, economists, policymakers, leading practitioners, movers and shakers in finance and Islamic finance. And many of our alumni are also creating waves internationally, including in frontier fields such as digital Islamic fintech. Alhamdulillah. As such, we would like to record our thanks to those whose contributions, either through invaluable advice, knowledge sharing, collaborations, funding, and other fields, have made it possible for INCEIF to reinforce our capabilities to keep up with the pace of innovation in global finance in general and in Islamic financial services sector in particular. As mentioned, we especially thank Bank Negara Malaysia, who had the foresight to set up a dedicated center for education and training in Islamic finance, which over the last 16 years has progressed into a full-fledged university, which we are also proud, alhamdulillah, has been recognized as among the top 5% of business schools worldwide, as accredited by the Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business, or AACSB. Ladies and gentlemen, we are fully aware the world we live in today is facing multiple challenges where many mega trends have indeed become mega threats to mankind. Climate change, poverty and inequality, public health, war and conflict, migration and displacement, inflation, cost of living, and food security are among a long list of challenges. Inshallah, we know that Islam and Islamic finance in particular has the capacity and the inspiration and the guidance to be the solution as the rahmatul lil alamin, a mercy to all mankind. In these financial times, indeed, Islamic finance in particular has a unique and critical role to play, the catalyst to reclaim the role of finance, to serve the real economy and not the other way around, which in turn must then serve the interests for a just, and progressive society. This is indeed our collective task. Inshallah, INCEIF remains steadfast in our quest to be the knowledge and thought leader in this regard, thanks to the combined collaborative effort among many here, policymakers, Sharia scholars, industry players, and academicians. Once again, our sincere gratitude to our partners from the public and private spheres for their continuous support and generosity in the sharing of expertise, imparting knowledge, accepting our students for job placements and action-based learning projects, and contributing to our scholarship fund. We look forward to you staying on board with us on this journey in pursuit of not only knowledge and skills, but also of achieving the higher objectives of Maqasid al-Sharia by preventing harm and attaining benefit. By the grace of Allah, it is our hope that INCEIF University will make a meaningful contribution to future development of Islamic finance for the benefit of the Ummah. And with your continued support, we look forward to a future where INCEIF names, signals, and immersive learning experience, access to sought-after experts from academia and industry, and applied research that promotes shared prosperity and a sustainable future. In closing, I would like to reaffirm our commitment to continue to improve ourselves in our industry focus, our global reach, and the quality of our programs. Inshallah, I have great confidence that together we, the Islamic finance proponents, will be able to take on this noble and important task. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ampun Tuanku, we close with the eternal verses of Suratul Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal Asr. Innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Verily, by the token of time through the ages, verily mankind is in a loss, except such as those who have faith and do righteous deeds and enjoin together in the mutual teaching of truth and of patience and constancy. Sadaqallahul Azim. Ampun Tuanku, sekian sahaja sembah ucapan patih. Ampun Tuanku, beribu ampun, sembah patih, mohon diampun. Patih menjunjung kasih Tuanku. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. As a proud honorand myself of INCEIF University, the Global University of Islamic Finance, it is truly a great pleasure for me to be here today with the INCEIF community for the launch of the new campus of our university. I trust that these wonderful new surroundings will invigorate everyone here to scale even greater heights in their studies and research into Islamic finance. I believe this 1,400-year-old financial system offers powerful solutions to a world in turmoil. A world seeking new ways to survive and recover from the seemingly incessant environmental and socio-economic shocks we now face. Over the past 4 decades or so, Islamic finance has evolved from being a small, niche, and faith-based market to become an established and growing part of the global financial ecosystem. Its future is bright. But Islamic finance now needs to grow further if it is to fully respond to the challenging global conditions. Despite the significant progress it has made with growing reach and acceptance beyond its traditional customer base, Islamic finance has yet to attain mainstream relevance at a truly global level. This new campus, I believe, will help to inspire brilliant minds to achieve this global vision for the industry. Now, the significance and timeliness of boosting Islamic finance in this way really cannot be overstated. The government of Malaysia's Shared Prosperity Vision 2030 report identifies Islamic finance as a key driver of Malaysia's economic growth. Having taken the lead in the 1990s, when the industry was in its infancy, the country must once again take charge of the second wave of Islamic finance expansion. And for this rebooted Islamic Finance 2.0, so to speak, an even greater emphasis must be put on the environment, social, and governance agenda. Over the next decade, 8 of the top 10 global risks identified by the World Economic Forum in its Global Risks Report 2022 are environmental or social. Climate change failure, extreme weather events, and biodiversity loss top the list. None of this is breaking news, of course. We have become all too familiar with such scenarios, and terms such as climate change, carbon footprints, and net zero emission targets entered our vocabulary years ago. These are now slowly being translated into action by governments, by companies, and by individuals across the world. In seeking to make companies more accountable for the unintended consequences of their businesses, the ESG agenda holds much promise as a means of addressing the many social and environmental challenges our world faces today. Of late, though, there has been growing criticism of the ESG agenda, with cynics discrediting its good intentions and predicting weak outcomes compared to the strong claims that have been made. This ESG fatigue reflects the hard realities faced in attempts to balance social objectives with commercial considerations and ethical concerns with financial priorities. In short, it is about idealism versus realism, and the latter, so far, has generally been winning out. That, I believe, is where Islamic finance has a fundamental role to play. Studies have demonstrated that ESG and Islam's own Maqasid al-Sharia approach have a high level of synergy in their fundamental principles and characteristics. Strikingly, a recent study found that when markets were facing greater stress, such as during the financial crisis, high ESG scoring stocks and Sharia compliant stocks both perform relatively better. Given the closeness of Islamic finance to the ESG principles and agenda, it would be remiss of us, the proponents of Islamic finance, to accept the naysayers' predictions on ESG without putting forward our own insights. In particular, we must advocate for Islamic finance's potential contributions in addressing the challenges faced by the conventional ESG investing space. With its emphasis on inclusivity and on facilitating investments with socially beneficial outcomes, the Maqasid approach encompasses the very essence of sustainable economic development. Investments made in accordance with the Maqasid, either by individuals or corporations and institutions, are based on a holistic view of human life. The aim is to preserve and promote the 5 to 6 core essentials of humankind, namely that of faith, life, intellect, lineage, wealth, and the planet. Thus, businesses guided by the Maqasid approach must take on greater responsibilities beyond short-term profit-making for shareholders. As I called for recently, they must take into account the needs of all their stakeholders. These include shareholders, employees, and business partners, as well as communities, society, and the environment. This contributes in turn to long-term value creation, which is at the very heart of a sustainable stakeholder economy. Islamic finance, in fact, has been operating and thriving for centuries under the principles only recently set out in the ESG agenda. Islamic finance is therefore uniquely poised to take the lead to demonstrate just how successful this holistic, stakeholder-centered approach can be to companies and financial institutions currently struggling to incorporate the ESG agenda into their ways of working. Given our track record of global leadership in Islamic capital markets, Malaysia is well positioned to continue to innovate in this space. By doing so, we can further boost the profile of our Islamic finance industry. We have already made great headway in incorporating ESG considerations into the business practices of companies and the investment considerations of financial service providers. Our regulators, industry players, and research institutions like INCEIF have all helped to champion ESG in the Islamic finance industry. As new ESG requirements have been introduced, these stakeholders have provided regulatory and supervisory support, leading on product development and other strategic initiatives. However, we need to elevate our efforts to compete at the global level if we are to demonstrate how Islamic finance can serve the needs of the wider financial markets and the global economy. To make Islamic Finance 2.0 a reality, therefore, we must also strive to be more authentic to the true spirit of Islamic law, the Maqasid. While we work hard for prosperity, we must equally be focused on doing good by the people and the planet. So, how can we interpret and articulate this traditional sacred framework into practical, measurable, and trackable solutions to address today's disruptive shocks? How can we ensure that the fiqh, the jurisprudence of Islam, has caught up sufficiently with the rigorous requirements of modern-day finance? These are questions which, I have no doubt, many of you gathered here today will ask and answer in this brilliant new campus. And as you explore these questions in your future studies and research, I urge you to consider this: to fulfill the Sharia authentically and to manifest the aspirations to achieve these goals in reality, we have to go beyond what is simply halal to achieve something closer to tayyib. The word at-tayyib appears many times in the Quran and in the Sunnah. It is used, among other meanings, to describe good people, good deeds, good actions, and even good speech. Its literal meaning is something wholesome or good or even pure. As expressed in a famous hadith, verily Allah the Exalted is pure, at-tayyib. He does not accept save that which is pure. So instead of stopping at what is strictly permissible or in compliance with fundamental Sharia parameters, we must aim for tayyib. We must go beyond the minimum to invoke deeper purity and wholesomeness. A product may be labeled halal, but does it give such value to the wider economy and society that should earn it a halal min tayyiban stamp? As you go forward, I urge you to strive for this highest standard for the Islamic finance industry. For if you do, I have every faith that not only the industry, but also the global community will benefit. I am delighted to note one of the brilliant ways in which INCEIF has recently contributed to innovations in this Islamic finance space. Co-organized by INCEIF and Lembaga Zakat Negeri Kedah, the recent 16 Muzakarah Cendekiawan Syariah Nusantara saw Sharia scholars and industry practitioners and academics gather together to tackle the issues of the day from theological and operational perspectives. By encouraging thinking beyond existing and fundamental parameters, over the years, this Muzakarah series has led to the development of innovative Islamic financial products using market-based experience. One of the innovations highlighted in the recent Muzakarah was the rent-to-own product known commercially as House Key. Introduced by Maybank Islamic in 2018, this innovative home financing scheme uses the Islamic ijarah, rent, and sale contracts to enable young first-time buyers to own their own affordable homes after a 5-year rental period. Affordable home ownership is a growing concern, particularly for the younger generation, for whom rising prices and few good employment opportunities can make buying a home seem like a distant dream. Responding to this great social need, the recent Muzakarah recommended the development of a macro solution utilizing Islamic social finance instruments to enable more young people to own affordable homes. This is just one example of how INCEIF is contributing to the ideas and conversations that provide maqasid-driven, real-world solutions to the challenges we face today. Let us all continue to strive for this goal. Let us be among the band of people inviting all that is tayyib and good, enjoining what is right and forbidding what is wrong. Let us empower leaders at all levels to drive the maqasid-based ESG strategy, embedding genuine maqasid and ESG commitments into the operating models and structures of their respective organizations. Even as we advocate for financial reform in the conventional global economic space, there is most certainly an urgent need for Islamic finance to play its part in healing the world. And I believe that this new campus can be the beating heart of that mission. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I now declare INCEIF University new campus officially open.
The new campus of INCEIF University is now officially launched.
Where it nourishes the world we live in to help grow, evolve, and change for the better. Similarly, our global financial landscape needs the right kind of nourishment. We at INCEIF University believe that Islamic finance is that drop of water. While most conscientious organizations practice sustainability, INCEIF University chooses to go beyond that. Islamic finance is about maqasid al-sharia. And this is where it all begins. Our roots were planted by Darul Malaysia in 2005. The goal was to nurture and develop experts in addressing the ever-increasing growth and demand for Islamic financial knowledge worldwide. Fast forward to today, we've cultivated ethical leaders globally, equipped with knowledge and pragmatics to forge a better future for humanity. Through our strong fundamentals, guided by real-world leaders, we revolutionize education with INCEIF University's action-based learning, transforming learners into leaders, asserting INCEIF University as the global authority with a masterclass in Islamic finance. We've only just begun as we continue bridging the gap between academia and industries by providing comprehensive teaching, research, and thought leadership programs. INCEIF University is about real people galvanizing fundamental changes. Our people are our success story. Today, at our newly launched campus, our team will continue to carry the torch through the 3 Ps of sustainability: people, planet, and prosperity. We remain committed in promoting sustainability and inclusivity in the Islamic finance sphere. We invite you to come on board with us in this journey of taking Islamic finance to the next frontier. We can make the world a better place together. We are INCEIF University.